Okay, welcome back, guys, to the Pink Stethoscope. So we finally made it, and we're here with our very first podcast episode for you. So today we're going to go into some interesting topics, bring the medical tea to you, and hopefully get to the bottom of what is going on in the NHS world. So today I'm here with a few of my peoples. So I'd just like to introduce them to you, starting with you.
Hi, my name is Angel and I'm 24.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shay and I'm 23.
Hi, my name is Mimi and I'm 23.
Okay, but I feel like you guys need to tell me, like, what do you do? Tell them what you do. Okay, you're 24, but they're gonna think that way.
Because I thought you were gonna.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. Like, what do you do?
I am a consultant, but not in the medical sphere. I work in financial services.
Okay.
And outside of my time, in my free time, I like to do some Muay Thai and boxing.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So I recently graduated from studying chemical engineering.
We got one in STEM.
2 women in STEM.
2 women in STEM.
Boxing stuff, isn't it?
Fair enough, but still.
Yeah, I have no clinical healthcare background, but yeah, it's good luck again.
I am in my final year at King's College London. I am studying religion, politics and society, and again, don't have any medical background, but in my free time, I like to play hockey.
Nice. So we've got a good variety of people here, mainly because I just want to get a good insight from the people who don't have a clinical background, but it's super important to ensure that everybody actually gets their opinion in, and it's not just us overshadowing with our clinical information. So just educate the people, let them know what's going on, and see if you guys can tell me what's going on as well. Yeah, so in this episode in particular, I don't know if you guys saw the recent headline about how the Labour government want to, roll out Ozempic to the obese unemployed people.
Yeah.
So when I say roll it out to the obese unemployed people, what does that make you feel?
Gross. I don't like that. Like, what do you mean the obese unemployed people? Like, that's very strong.
Yeah, it's like the way that they, I think, have phrased it is like very ick-worthy. Like, why are you saying people that are overweight and need to get back to work? Like, that's just a whole bag of a whole kettle of fish that I don't even want to unpack in regards to like classism, fat phobia. Like, I don't like it at all.
And it just makes me wonder, like, what is the correlation between being obese and being unemployed?
Yeah.
So one thing, when it comes to obesity, right, I think one thing we need to think about here is obesity can affect different things. There are people who generally are unable to work and may want to work but don't have a solution, and that's understandable in that sense. Yeah. But then when you look at it from the other perspective, there's also a vast majority who don't actually want to go back to work. So why are we assuming that they do just because they're not fat? That or let me not say fat, that might be a bit too harsh, but overweight, just because they're a bit overweight, suddenly they want to go back to work.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm skinny and I don't want to work.
Must be nice.
Someone
must have been vaccinated.
I'm like, no, it's like
the headline.
Not in the sense of like, in terms of like the BMI scale, like in the nicest way possible, in terms of like the BMI scale, I'm like average, alright? So I'm like normal BMI. I think I'm like BMI like 22, I think. So like in the normal range. I don't want to work particularly. So what's there for me? that sounds so bad.
I just want to use this opportunity to say it again. It must be very bad.
It shouldn't be an incentive. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want, like, if I was overweight, I would honestly feel insulted that I was being offered these drugs to try and get me back to work. I would feel like, like a child.
I read the article, right? So like the article that I read was from The Guardian, and it basically said that West Streeting wanted to do it as like an experiment. Not that they're going to be rolling it out to everyone like straight away. That they're going to get like a group of people give them give them the Ozempic or Mounjaro or whatever, and basically like kind of test to see whether they go back to work.
Yes,
Like,
so that's what they've started. It's a trial in Manchester where they trialed it with like 3,000 or something people. And they're going to be tested for the next like 5 years.
But I just want to know, like,
injected.
Yeah.
in the most PC way that I can say this, like, what were they on when they decided to do that? Like, in terms of, was it crack? Like, who came up with that?
You know what I think it is?
Who came up with that?
Because it's like when you look at like stereotypes throughout like TV and like media and like in books, right? Lazy people are always portrayed as like overweight a lot of the time, and unemployed people are portrayed as lazy, not like that they're victim of their circumstances. And I think definitely in this country, there's very much an idea of like someone who's collecting job seekers, universal credit, who's just been like in their house, like stuffing their face. They just don't want to work. Like I think it's that association that's like, okay, let's start with the fatties.
But that's kind of, honestly,
Sorry,
to me,
I'm so
let's start with the fatties. Honestly, to me, from the government, that's pathetic though, because you're not actually doing any research into it.
Yeah.
You are essentially taking
For me, I think it's more about like, do they actually understand how Ozempic works? Like,
Yeah.
if I ask you guys now, are you able to tell me how Ozempic works?
I mean, I have a like idea it's
Like-
an appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be an anti-diabetic diabetic
Yeah.
drug.
So it contains this active ingredient, semaglutide, as most people who are already on it would know. And the way it's supposed to help increase insulin sensitivity in the pancreas to keep on producing more insulin, because that's something that they find in type 2 diabetics, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of it. But people forget that weight loss is more of a side effect.
Yeah.
So it's like the Viagra one that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Right? So Viagra, they found out that, you know, it causes erection. It's like, hey, you know what? Let's ship this out to men. It's like, you know what? He can't perform. Give him some Viagra. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it kind of gives that in this sense. It's like, oh, you know what? He can't go to the gym. Just throw some Ozempic on him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of gives that. Like, it kind of gives it. It's almost like a. I'd like to say the government's cop out to actually helping people.
It is.
I'm not going to say it's a cop out on the people who want to use it, because I fully understand. I fully understand why people want to do that. Like, for example, like me, someone who's been battling with weight their entire life, like, it's something that if they offered it to me, I probably wouldn't say no. But I have other health conditions that it would benefit to make it worth the while of actually using Ozempic. Do you get what I mean?
But then in terms of like other health conditions, like, we're not even thinking about, I think the government hasn't even thought about whether people who were offered these might have pre-existing health conditions that might, you know, get exacerbated by the drug. It's like this automatic like thought that's like, oh, this person is overweight, give them Ozempic, give them Wegovy, give them like whatever. It's not taking into account people as actual real human beings. It's taking them into account as statistics.
And again, you can talk about like the government like in a wider thing. Like, I don't think the government looks at anybody as an individual. I think they're just like, you are numbers,
and that's
disappointing. You provide us with tax revenue.
Don't get me wrong, I'm waiting till April to get my tax back. I'm looking at you. Like, I want my money back, don't get me wrong.
And that's disappointing coming, and I'm not trying to go too far into like politics, obviously this isn't a politics podcast, but that is disappointing coming from like a Labour government. I would have expected the Tories to do this, not Labour, because their whole campaign was, we're not the Tories, we are better. And that's what they want.
You know, the funniest thing, funny that you say that, I have always had the theory that Kingston was a Tory.
Secret Tory.
But I'm not going to go into that.
Secret Tory.
But if I start
talking about how this trust is a Lib Dem plan, everyone's gonna like everyone everyone's going to smack me.
You mentioned Wegovy, right?
Yeah.
So you know, do you know all the different types of weight loss?
Wegovy, Ozempic,
That's
Mounjaro,
Yeah.
I think was
Those are the three
Yeah.
injectable ones, isn't it?
Semaglutide is
Semaglutide is the
Semaglutide.
ingredient in there.
Yeah.
So both Wegovy and Ozempic have the same active ingredient. However, Wegovy is the one that's actually licensed for weight loss, but they don't actually give it through like your GPs or everything. Most of the time, they refer you to like a specialist and stuff, and that's when they give it to you.
And I personally don't like how easy it is to find online.
It's scary.
It's so
like you can
easy
actually
to find
Google it, and
online.
there's like a million online
Yeah.
pharmacies.
and you can just order it.
You
without-
can
just
order it.
Like
I
literally,
don't
you
know,
can,
there's
and you know
a
what's so
stuff.
sad about it?
Yeah.
You could probably lie.
You
and
can.
that's the thing. Like they don't filter out who's actually like what. I mean,
They will tell
to be fair, they will probably say like, okay, send a picture
Yeah.
of you standing on a scale, but
But
in
like,
the least offensive
yeah.
way, you could get your like heavier
Fat,
fat. Just be
right.
like, just stand on the scale. Like, they don't need to see my face.
With
Like,
the stuff that you're buying, like online, is very wide. How do you know it's the legit stuff?
You
So I'm
don't.
gonna ask.
you don't. There's
Is
a
it-
lot of fake
yeah.
pharmacies out there. You know,
Yeah.
I've actually seen some stuff on TikTok, right, where people are like, "Oh yeah, you don't buy from these people; they're fake." Or if you go on TikTok and you type in Mounjaro, you'll see a bunch of people who are on Mounjaro, but if you go in their comments, you'll see a bunch of fake people trying to sell Mounjaro,
Yeah.
and it's crazy.
That
Like
is
it's
very
actually
scary.
it's actually nuts how easy it is
So
to.
sometimes you actually don't know what
Yeah.
You don't know.
You have no
You
idea,
don't.
and you're injecting it into yourself.
Yeah. So that's why
Like,
I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like
with
this
like
whole
the pens.
yeah. So that's why I feel like this whole Ozempic thing is absolutely mad because when you've got Wegovy that's actually licensed for weight loss,
Yeah.
right? I understand that because that's actually for weight loss. Ozempic, is this not something that they said that there was a shortage? Just a couple
Yeah.
months ago? And now all of a sudden you can give it out for the free? For the free. Suddenly it's for free.
It's messed up.
And that's one thing that we've all learnt in this UK. When the government wants to give something for free, it's not
It's never going to
because look what happened with Eat Out to Help Out. And then COVID went up.
I could
but
not
because
take
of the
advantage
economy.
of that.
I did.
I really did. I
You
did
know
get
what?
it
For
on.
all of Rishi Sunak's faults as like a minister or like as a cabinet member in general, Eat Out to Help Out was not one of them. It was
I'm not gonna lie,
I
I
mean,
definitely
for
did
me,
not.
for me, it sucked for like the
Please-
the pub owners.
Please let it be noted that I definitely did indulge. Yes, but I did indulge, and I don't apologize. But
I will absolutely hate on this man. And yet,
But yet, if you're gonna give me 55% off Nando's, I'm
real.
like if
50% off Weatherspoons? Okay, you ate that. I'll never give you your 10s, but you ate that one, your thing.
Could you take it to pubs as well?
Yeah.
Weatherspoons
Pubs
did
and
it.
restaurants across the country.
Yeah.
And this was when the rule of 6 came back.
Yeah.
Mind you. Mind you.
But then look at it. This is exactly the point that I make when I say that. At this point, it just seems like another. It's just another
Yeah,
economy boost.
yeah,
That's all
yeah.
it is. Like during the COVID situation, they didn't actually give a toss about what was going to happen with the cases.
Yeah.
They knew damn well that cases were going to rise.
Oh, absolutely.
At that point, rule of 6 went right out the window as long as their economy was going back
It
up.
was, what was it? Who was it that said let the bodies pile high? Or was it
Boris
Johnson?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, it got to a point where it's like, okay, we don't give a toss about the masses as long as the economy is up high. Let's just get the economy up, and then we'll give a toss.
And
Oh,
this
fine.
is
exactly what they're trying to
They
do
don't
now.
care about
Yeah.
these individuals. It's more about
That's what I'm
tax,
saying.
revenue.
Yeah.
Money. Give your value to the
And I guess that's
economy.
like one of the reasons why I actually started this platform in the first place, because I feel like we need to make it more known that hello, like these people are actually here for you.
Yeah.
Because yeah, cool, they're gonna give you this medication, and it might actually help some people who they're gonna give it to, and I really do hope it helps them. But if they're gonna give it to you on the basis that oh yeah, it's just gonna boost the economy,
Yeah.
they don't give a toss about you, sis.
And then on the other hand, like on the other side of it, I think something that also needs to be called out is like the people that would like readily accept this,
yeah,
because it's more of a social thing now.
Yeah.
Like it's seen as cool. It's like that social currency.
funny
thing.
you said that. Actually.
Oh, thank you so much.
You
I
know
love
what?
when we lead into new points.
Funny you said that actually, because you know what, like West treating himself. There's a headline on the Daily
Is
Mail.
that the health secretary?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the health secretary at the moment, and he actually said you shouldn't be using Ozempic for Instagram or
Please.
whatever. They use that term, but
You
in
don't
the
know
same
the Great
breath,
British
you
public.
want to give out free Ozempic.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know the Great British public.
Like, in fact, like I want to go into the headline that they
Yeah.
use because you see,
Let's do it.
when I read the headline, when I tell you I shouted blood of Jesus, I said, oh, wow, you can really want to be dead in this life. It's not going to be me though.
Like, you
Like-
sick actually.
Like the headline, it was just insane. It literally,
This is the
I'm
Daily
fine
Mail
with it.
headline.
yeah, the
Oh,
Daily Mail.
it's the Daily Hail. Like, let's
The
be
Daily
so
Mail.
serious.
So get this, right? It says fat jabs for the jobless. Fat jabs for the jobless.
For the jobless is
Now they
crazy.
got unemployed, free Ozempic to get obese back to work. So in that line alone,
Jesus.
they have managed to rebrand Ozempic from an anti-diabetic to a fat jab. How do you manage to reduce an anti-diabetic to a fat jab and expect the people to be like, oh, you know what? Fat jab?
Yeah, exactly.
The gym, like,
It's like this social, like, this idea in like culture that the best version of you is the skinny version of you, the version that's like perfect to put on social media.
That would be a whole other topic. to
Yeah.
talk about.
A whole different topic, but like what I'm trying
Part
to
two of the podcast.
but what I'm trying to say in this situation is like it gives you a form of clout, right? So you don't want to be, the thing is, you don't want to be seen as taking like the easy way out, because no one wants to be a cheater, no one wants to be like someone who hasn't worked hard for it. But realistically, when the government are offering to give you like a free service, a free weight loss drug, even though obviously side effects
especially with
are
how
weight loss,
expensive it is.
how many people are gonna just jump at the chance? How many people are gonna run at that chance with like full feet forward, not even thinking about the potential? Because realistically, if you're taking it and you don't have the problems that a type 2 diabetic has, how much do you think it's gonna affect your body? How much do you think it's
more? Let me even add to that. You know what? In the same article where they're talking about giving the fat jabs to the unemployed people,
disgusting wording. I hate that wording. Oh my god.
In that same article, they also mentioned how actually 3,000 Brits who have been taking Ozempic or Wegovy have fallen ill.
My god.
So it's like,
so you're doing the research. You're doing the research.
So you know what I mean? It's giving a juxtaposition. Do you get what I mean? Like in one breath, you're like, take the jab, but in the other breath, it's like,
but you could die.
But you know, like 3,000 people.
But you could
I'm
die.
devil's advocate. But how do you know if those out of those 3,000, he was actually taking legit Ozempic?
That's the thing.
That's
You don't know. That's true.
But
You
then
don't
you
know,
can
but
get
that's
it on the
also-
NHS, can't you?
But I think because
Already.
yeah, you can get it on it. Yeah, you can.
You can.
But after like the referrals and stuff.
It's not that
But
It's
the
not
thing
that
is, right, the issue that still stands is the fact that there's still fake Ozempic that's flying around, and people will find a way to get their hands on it one way or another. So, guys, one thing I want to know though, if the government said, you know what, let me give you guys some free Ozempic, you know, just for the sake of it, you know, let me give you some Ozempic, you know.
And
In that point.
another thing is because obviously, like we've said, being fat is seen as being bad, right? It's a bad trait to have. Being overweight means you're lazy, it means you're sloppy, it means you don't put any. So when you want to, and again, you know, the best version of you is skinny, the best version of you is happy, the best version of you is thinner. So this whole, like, when you're being offered this easy way out, this cheat to kind of get to that ideal state of you, of course people will take it.
No,
Of course.
this is why I now have to ask, don't you feel like they're trying to monetize off of body dysmorphia though?
Absolutely. That's not even a
Because, like,
question.
It's so funny because they say in the article, it's to relieve the strain on the NHS.
Well,
Mental
please.
health exists.
Yeah.
Mental health exists, and when we talk about weight, a lot of the time we're going to talk about mental health. It comes hand in hand. Someone who's going to go on Ozempic just for the fact that they want to get to their dream body, a lot of the time they have a lot going on in their
Disordered
mental health.
thinking.
There you go. They're promoting that. In
Yeah.
that sense, they are promoting
Yeah,
that. And
absolutely.
that will cause a bigger strain on their mental health services.
Yeah, and it's like, excuse my French, it's like very, let me censor myself, it's messed up. Because I know that as, you know, a fairly disordered like teenager that had, you know, access to like eating disorder blogs, eating disorder like Twitter, eating disorder Tumblr, I know that if I was overweight then and someone had been like, oh yeah, when you're 18 you can get these drugs that will make you like thinner. Oh my god, I would have jumped at that. And it's not even like a good kind of thing, because when you see like Kelly Osbourne, when you see like people who have taken these Sharon Osbourne, when you see, oh sorry, Kelly Osbourne is also on it.
Oh,
When you see both of them, when you see these Mindy Kaling, when you see these people that have like taken these, they look like skeletal
bobbleheads.
Yeah, bobbleheads.
You know
It's
what?
so
You know
scary.
what? You know what?
Kim Kardashian.
You know what? Sharon Osbourne actually, I think someone mentioned that Sharon Osbourne has actually developed like vascular EDS.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. That was,
What does that mean? What is
So it's a Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's like the best way.
Just put it in simple terms that anyone will
Your skin
understand.
go really like
Yeah,
stretchy
so
and
it's a
stuff,
genetic.
hypermobile.
It's usually like a genetic disorder that can cause your skin to be very stretchy.
And
it
your
affects the
bones-
collagen in your skin.
Your bones are very flexible. They're
Yeah.
not as hard and they're not as dense as they should be.
And that's just some of the symptoms.
Yeah. And there's like 13 different types, and vascular is just one of them, and that's because of this medication. But you can tell from her face, because there's a distinct look that people with vascular EDS have, like a very buoyant look.
Yeah.
So she has that. You can see that skeletal look on her face.
But
So,
and you know, that's terrifying. But honestly, in the throes of like my, you know, disordered thinking, I would have loved to look like that when I was younger. So at what point do we say, actually, like, and I know that I would have waited those years until I was able to get that medication, so that I would look like that, so that I would be thin as anything, so that I would be a size 0. So at what point do we have to take away from the people who are old enough to get that and start looking towards the people who maybe aren't?
yeah. Like, if I'm going to be like honest with you, like as someone that's actually being quite transparent about the fact that, you know what, I do have some issues with my body, etc. And there are things that I do want to fix. It took a lot from me to be able to like stand up and say, hey, you know what, let me not actually succumb to taking Ozempic, because if it was me younger, I probably would have jumped at that chance, or people around me would have been like,
You should take it.
You should take it. Like, you know,
Peer
what?
pressure.
Look at you, biggie. You should be taking that biggie shot, you know? It's really sad. Do you feel like that right now this is the right agenda for them to push?
No, the government.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely
think it should be a priority.
It's not. It's not a priority.
There's other things that
Why
you
do you say
should be
that?
focusing on.
Okay, like what? For example, like what?
Other things that you should be focusing on.
Yeah, like what else? Like,
The
do you think
NHS.
I mean, it's just not technically.
But it's not really. This is like a side aspect.
Yeah,
This
that
really-
is true.
Mm.
I mean, the economy's like balls to the wall right now. It's so bad because the Tories have left us with like 13, 14 years of debt.
Mm.
And like realistically, I understand that this is it's an attempt to get, you know, people who are out of work back into work.
Mm.
It's an attempt to boost the economy, to give an injection to like the national budget. At the same time, is it realistically the best plan for people to start working? Absolutely not.
We don't have good
thing.
Yeah, there are jobs.
If you told me that the Jew was
Structure.
streaming,
I'm not structured. We don't produce anything of value in this country.
Say that to the whiskey
Hello.
industry.
Say
that to the whiskey industry.
Hello, hi. Hello, hi.
Scottish whiskey is amazing.
Hello, hi.
Glenfiddich.
Stomach.
Black Allen.
If you could just, you know, just take a breather and just listen to me for a second. Maybe make the gym free. Just make that free and make things easier, you know.
Well, they
I'm
have
not
free,
saying-
they
I'm
have
not
free
saying-
gyms in the park.
No, but that's nothing, man. That's nothing. Like what I'm saying, I'm not saying that.
rusted
It's,
over.
for me, it's not. For me, I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, like everyone just go to the gym, go to the gym.
Yeah.
But like, for me as a person, please, I'm happy to go and do this. Just give me free gym. This cost of living crisis is a lot. It's a lot. My bank account is breaking. The fact that I don't have to.
But how will we pay for that? How will we
Where's the
fund
money
free
going to
gyms?
come from?
But
But
the
they found the money for
like,
free Ozempic.
the problem, the thing is, the problem is
Ozempic is more expensive than the
No,
gym.
but the thing is, I don't think it was fully free. I think the person who owns it, like Nora or something, like has invested in the UK government to like basically say we want to.
Then why can't they decide? Why can't the gym group invest?
because the
Okay.
gym group is for profit.
Yeah,
That's
the idea is that they want people to be healthy,
For
right? They want people to be healthy,
And
right?
they don't want people to be healthy. They want you to
They want
honestly.
you to be able to work.
They are just trying to be on this.
I'm gonna be so real
Has
with you.
anyone here read the Parable of the Sower?
Oh
No,
my
no,
god.
no.
I'm
It's
reading
so
that.
Wait,
good.
hold on.
Is
Before
it
you
like
speak,
Avery Butler?
yeah.
Yeah.
Before you speak, let me just, in the nicest way possible, the gym is not meant for you to be healthy. The gym is meant for if I'm gonna be so real with you, the people that own the gyms don't want you to go to the gym. The people that own the gyms want you to forget your membership so they can keep getting money out of you.
Just say you don't go gym.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Just say you don't go.
No, I don't actually. No, I
Just say
don't.
you forgot to cancel
No,
your.
I did for 6 months.
Okay, that's not my problem. That's your problem. And I think
And I
you need to
finally
seek therapy. I think you need to seek therapy.
After 6 months, and they were like, they sent me like so many emails. They were like, "Are you sure you want to cancel your membership?" Yes, and because you are taking £30 out of my bank account every single month.
I'll be so honest with you. I think that narrative is between you and the gym. So,
It's between me, the gym, and God.
Yeah.
Actually.
so in terms of the medical alternatives, is there any alternatives you would like to see? Like I've said free gym personally, but what else would
What
you like to
the
see?
government should do?
Yeah,
Invested in mental health services.
Mm.
Because mental health services in this country are really, sorry, my whole bad English. They're
Yeah.
shit. And I think a lot of the people who work in them are really overworked, overwhelmed. There's not enough people.
100%.
And it's just,
100%.
I think we said earlier, mental health really does come hand in hand with being overweight and obese.
Yes. 100%.
If you are giving people an appetite suppressant, okay, they're not going to be hungry. But some people are still going to eat whether they're hungry or not.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
it's not doing anything.
Yeah. Again, Lidl apples like half price for the entire month of
And none of them
September.
were pink lady apples.
No,
They were
none
all,
of
like,
them. They were
rose green ones.
all green apples and they were amazing. Thank you so much.
I know why they probably did that. They
Right.
only had a huge supply of apple green apples.
Yeah. I don't care. You know what it is?
That was
I
really good.
don't care because I love green apples. Alright?
That's
So,
true.
and I ate so many apples and it was the healthiest I had ever been. And then obviously university life set in, I rediscovered Deliveroo. But that's what I would do. I would half price healthy eating because it makes sense.
What do you think?
I think we need to radically restructure society. I think all of this is just like putting a plaster over the problem. People are overworked. They're buying like, what's it called? They're buying like ready meals that are full of calories because they don't have time to cook. It's not that no one knows how to cook anything from scratch.
I
No
don't.
one has. Most people do not have the time to cook anything from scratch. You've got people working like 2-3 jobs to like stay afloat. Like you're gonna go for like the simplest, quickest option, which is full of calories.
Yeah.
Like people don't have time to go and exercise and go work in the gym. I'm sorry, I just feel like until the UK gets better, until we have like more money, and I don't see how that would happen anytime soon. I think we're fucked. Sorry. I'm sorry. Like, this is so bad.
So blunt.
Just let me know if you guys 100% agree with
We
what
live
we're
in a
saying.
capitalist like utopia. Honestly,
We are dystopia. This is why I said, has anyone read the Parable of the Sower? We're going down that path. And I feel like really,
America will get there first. Don't worry. Like America will get there
I
first.
feel this is gonna be like my shtick in like all of the podcasts we do.
You know
Just
what?
how they like improve society. Sorry, moving on.
At this
You
point,
just like get further and further down the path of violence.
at this point, I think this is where we should actually like point the question to the viewers as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is the kind of thing that won't change until everyone actually has something to say. So if you feel like there's something that the government should do to combat this, leave a comment and let us know what you think, and maybe we can discuss that in the next episode.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, I also added some questions on my Instagram, you guys, at the Pink Stethoscope with 2 E's at the end on Instagram. TikTok, it's at the Pink Steph, and on the rest of the social media, you'll find it on my LinkedIn in the bio in both of those social media platforms. So I actually threw the headline out there to see what people who follow the page thought, and I did get some responses from them. Someone said, why not give them work from home? What do you think about that?
work from home for fat people.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Sorry, this is sorry.
No, but like,
Sorry,
it's not about that, but
what
like,
jobs are they
yeah.
going to be doing?
No, but like, do you know there's a lot of customer service jobs? Like, I worked in BT, hello. All I had to do was pick up the phone, let someone shout at me about their internet, and then cut the phone with their tongue.
I think it's a lot of these jobs have just been outsourced to cheaper countries.
Yeah,
Like, it's true, but I feel like,
Yes.
but that's the thing. This is where we're talking about priorities, right? At this point, if the economy really is the problem,
Bring British jobs back to Britain. Like, not to sound like Nigel Farage, but
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, at this point,
This
like,
is
if
so
the economy
generation
is that
of
much
us.
problem and work is
very
very
good.
I understand that obesity is a problem, but this isn't a tackle two birds with one stone
Yeah.
kind of situation.
this is
You're dealing with
yeah.
a lot. There's a lot to unpack here when you're talking about dealing with obesity and getting them back to work. Like, if someone's obese and they've been obese their whole life, right? There's a lot of implications that will come with that, including their mental health. You said that after they lose the weight, they will be in the right mental state to go back to work. Have you even talked about the aftermath after they've lost weight? Because there are people that have gone from like a big weight and have lost weight and are still having mental health issues.
The
now,
body dysmorphia is insane.
even after, because they're trying to like figure out how society now looks at them after they've lost weight.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
going
sorry
from
about that.
you look horrible to
Oh,
sick,
you're
you're
gorgeous.
hey,
Like
yeah,
your
like
vagina, slay.
like honestly
Oh
the
my guys. Sorry.
like the pipeline from
Yeah.
you look horrible to you look nice can be a mindfuck to
Oh,
lots of
yes.
people,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not talked about enough.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like there's so many implications when it comes to this alone. So that's why
100%.
I feel like working from home, they need to decide what is it you're actually trying to fix. Is
Yeah.
it obesity or is it the economy?
Yeah.
If it's the economy, work from home. If it's obesity, there are other factors than introducing a drug that anyone can get their hands on.
But the thing is, even work from home, like, I don't understand it because realistically, the kind of jobs in which you would work from home are barring like call center jobs, barring like customer service jobs, the kind of jobs in which you would work from home are highly professional jobs.
Yeah.
They are highly skilled roles. They are roles in which you need a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Let's be so deeply realistic here. Those kind of roles, competitive.
Now, let me tell you.
Those type of roles are, you have 8 people applying for one role.
Eight
Well,
is
they-
even
they-
lower.
Eight is even low end. Like, when you have these type of roles, like, what, you're just gonna give them out like candy to the people that aren't working? Then that then puts people who maybe aren't being offered these benefits, who maybe aren't being offered like free Ozempic. That then creates this hierarchy of like the best person isn't getting given these roles because they are not.
So are you basically saying that essentially because they're unemployed,
They're not qualified.
I'm not saying because they're unemployed they're not qualified. I'm saying like it shouldn't be a case in which there are these very, very skilled roles that you are just offering to certain people because they meet a certain threshold. That's not a meritocracy. That's not what Britain is built on.
Is Britain really built on meritocracy?
The idea of social mobility would.
I think
suggest that.
class in the UK is just so.
But we're not
I
talking
feel
about
like
class.
this is-
We're
but
talking
I feel
about
like this goes
education.
beyond class. Like these are people that have been unemployed for a long period of time.
Yeah.
If obesity is the reason why they haven't been going to work, then they've probably been unemployed for a very long time. We're talking about here. You're assuming that the government's going to turn to employees and be like, okay, they've just lost weight. You must give them a job.
But
Like,
I'm not saying.
employees still have their own discretion.
Yeah,
to be like,
I'm not
going to give you
I'm
work.
not saying that. I'm
Hence
just.
why it's still a problem.
Yeah,
because
I'm. Yeah.
There's no, sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
it's fine, it's
but
fine.
like, in that point, there's still no security net for the people who
Yeah.
have actually gone on the medication because you're now telling, in that headline, you've essentially promised you're going to get a job.
Yeah.
If you lose weight.
This is what I'm trying to say. There's this indication that, like, because you've lost weight, okay, we're going to get you a job now. That's my problem.
What's
That's
next?
the issue. That's my problem. It then disadvantages the people that are applying for these jobs, the people that have lost weight, the people that maybe haven't been on these weight loss medications who are also applying for the same role. It disadvantages the employers. It's the same reason that DEI's like thresholds to me, are a problem. I personally believe that this is a very large problem. Like, you are then disadvantaging a lot of people, and it then doesn't become a meritocracy. That's the issue that I have.
Myth of meritocracy.
I believe meritocracy is real.
You believe it's real?
I believe it's real.
don't.
So we mentioned how people said that work from home should be an option. I think we already touched on this earlier, but another person actually did say that in terms of Ozempic, we don't know the long-term effects. I think that's actually a very valid point. What do you think?
I don't know if anyone's read any academic papers on it or if there are any academic papers available, but I don't have access to them. But I would really like to see.
JSTOR.
And I actually really doubt if there's any data on how the long-term effects are on people who don't have type 2 diabetes. Because I can imagine the clinical trials they would have done would be on people with type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
There's
It's
not.
even in production.
Yeah,
as, like for non-diabetes, like as for people who don't have diabetes, like I've only been using it for like around like less than 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's not as long
I
time.
don't believe there's a lot of data on it, because realistically, the Ozempic surge, the Ozempic craze only really came into fruition like a year ago, like 2 years ago maximum. So no one's had enough time to do enough data. No one's had enough time to do the research. It's just kind of been pushed on people that are maybe a little bit overweight by their doctors because they're like, okay, this is a great side effect that could help you. Like, it's like Viagra, but without the clinical trials.
You know what? Like, people watch that, I generally feel like you should put it in the comments what you think. And if you feel like Ozempic would help you in this moment in time. And are you worried about the side effects? And do you feel like it's something that the government should actually be transparent about and say, actually, it can cause this, this, and this before you take the medication? Or do you feel like it's just something that you're just going to jump at? So, yeah, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it.
Because I know a lot of, like, even when they do the research on articles or whatever, they churn out these articles. It's always in like a little disclaimer at the bottom that's like Ozempic can cause like this like heart arrhythmia. It's like we're smoking.
Smoking kills.
Light on the pack, but no one reads the pack. I'm so sorry.
I don't smoke because I find the smoking packets repulsive.
Really? That worked for you.
Disgust me.
That
I'm so
worked
sorry.
for you.
Like seeing like a foot with like gangrene on it, or like someone's like eye like all yellow. It actually works for some people. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be ugly.
Oh wow!
That is
Some
so
people have medical conditions.
like, I don't want to be ugly. Actually,
That's crazy.
That's an incredible reason to not smoke. Actually,
If you guys were presented with the long-term effects, do you think you would have been more aligned to taking Ozempic?
if I was overweight, yes, but that is just because of the kind of person I am.
And that's understandable.
Like, I don't like to go to the gym. I don't like to eat healthily, actually. KFC has more appeal to me, and I know that's a stereotype. KFC has way more appeal to me than like an orange. And I don't like to go to the gym. And honestly, I don't care what society says. I would rather have a cheat. A shortcut.
You know what?
I would.
You know what? I feel like at the end of the day, the take-home message should be: don't go for something
blindly.
Please look at the side effects. Because at the end of the day, we're here for you as clinicians. We're here for you, and we want to make sure that all members of the public are taking something that's safe and works for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please also take into consideration your mental health. That's the most important thing. What's going to work for you in the long run is something that needs to be considered. So to everyone who is watching this, please put yourself first. Think about if it's something that you generally think that you can handle. And if it is, no problem. At the end of the day, everyone has their own plans on what they want to do with the medication.
And also,
I can't speak for everybody, but I do think from my own point of view, I don't think it's the best thing for them to do at this point in time.
And also, if you have like an eating disorder and you haven't confronted it yet, please do not take like weight loss drugs. That will actually send you down like a worse path. It will not make you better. It will not make you skinnier. You will like just hate yourself at the end of it. Don't do it.
So yeah. I mean, thank you guys for coming up here to talk about that.
That's fine. Thank you for having us.
I just generally feel like it's a conversation that needed to be had, just to see where you guys were coming from, especially from, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going mad. You know? I just thought, because I saw it and I swear, I showed my friend immediately and I was like, yo.
Yeah, I
is
sent
this
it
normal?
to you.
Like, I was literally like, is this
I
okay?
sent you the article.
Like, I remember bugging out about, like, this isn't normal, this isn't okay. And I'm someone who has their own, like, body issues as well, you know? But even in my own head, I was like, this actually might not be okay. Like, this might just be a shortcut that the government's trying to take.
Yeah, 100%.
So thank you guys for watching this podcast and having a listen to what we thought about this. I thought it was important to get people who didn't have a clinical mindset, so it didn't seem like I was just impeding on you and just saying, I'm the clinician, I'm the one that's right, you know, because I actually generally do care about what you guys think, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is to make a difference. So please please comment, and please subscribe, and let us know what else you'd like to see and what else you'd like us to talk about. So we'll see you again next time. Bye.